On January 30th, 2014, a couple on a remote atoll in the Marshall Islands sees a figure stumbling out of the ocean, naked, clutching a knife, screaming in a language they don't understand. He has been alone on the Pacific Ocean for 438 days. His name was José Salvador Alvarenga, a Salvadoran fisherman, born around 1975 in Garita Palmera, El Salvador. He had left his home country in 2002, leaving behind a young daughter he wouldn't see for years. He settled in the coastal village of Costa Azul in Chiapas, Mexico, where he worked as a deep-sea fisherman, hunting sharks and marlins. The locals called his crew Los Tiburoneros, the shark hunters. On November 17, 2012, Alvarenga set out on what was supposed to be a 30-hour fishing trip. His boat was a 24-foot open fiberglass panga. No sails, no anchor, no running lights. His companion was Ezequiel Cordoba, a young fisherman in his early 20s. They had never worked together before. They caught over 1,000 pounds of fish in the first day. It was a good haul. Then the weather turned. A massive storm hit and lasted 5 days. The waves swamped the tiny panga. They were forced to dump their entire catch overboard just to keep the boat from capsizing. The outboard motor was destroyed. Their portable electronics died. Alvarenga managed one distress call on a two-way radio before the battery went dead. His boss launched a search, but called it off after 2 days due to poor visibility. No one was coming. They had no engine, no sails, no oars, no anchor, no radio, no navigation. They were now 2 men on a 24-foot open boat, drifting into the largest ocean on Earth. And the Pacific had no intention of giving them back. Alvarenga adapted. He caught fish with his bare hands and fashioned a large fish hook by dismantling the broken outboard motor. He built a net from plastic bottles he found floating in the ocean. When sea turtles drifted near the boat, he grabbed them, killed them, and drank their blood, glass after glass, for hydration and energy. When seabirds landed on the panga to rest, he snatched them, tore them apart, and ate everything raw, including feathers. He discarded only the stomach contents, which were usually filled with plastic. For water, he collected rain in salvaged containers, 72 small bottles, and a 55-gallon oil drum he pulled from the ocean. He tracked time by counting full moons. He would eventually count 15. Ezequiel Cordoba could not do it. The young fisherman could not bring himself to eat raw turtle meat or drink blood. He grew weaker by the day. He became obsessed with thoughts of his mother, of tortillas, of solid food. As the weeks turned to months, his body deteriorated. His mind followed. Approximately 4 months into the drift, during a rainstorm, the 2 men prayed together, and then Ezequiel Cordoba died. Before dying, Cordoba made Alvarenga promise one thing, that he would not eat his body. Alvarenga kept the corpse on the boat for 6 days. He talked to it. He treated it as if Cordoba were still alive. When he finally recognized what the isolation was doing to his mind, he dropped the body into the ocean. For the next 4 to 6 days, Alvarenga considered killing himself. His Christian faith stopped him. He feared divine judgment, and so he continued. Alone, on an open boat, in the middle of the Pacific, for 10 more months. The Pacific Ocean is 63 million square miles, the largest body of water on Earth, and for 438 days, a 24-foot open boat drifted across it, carried by the North Equatorial Current, part of the massive clockwise North Pacific Gyre. From the coast of Mexico, the current pushed the panga steadily west, toward the most remote islands on the planet, 6,700 miles. Alvarenga had no way of knowing where he was going. He couldn't see land. He couldn't control his direction. He could only survive 1 more day and hope the ocean would eventually push him somewhere. The University of Hawaii later placed 16 virtual tracers into their ocean drift computer model. Every single one followed a remarkably narrow path, passing within 120 miles of exactly where Alvarenga washed ashore. On January 29, 2014, Day 437, Alvarenga saw mountains on the horizon. He had not seen land in over a year. The next morning, his boat hit a reef. He jumped into the water and swam. He washed ashore on Tile Islet, a tiny island in Ebon Atoll, one of the most remote atolls in the Marshall Islands. He stumbled along the beach until he found a small house. Inside were Amy Lebokmeadow and Russell Lykedrick, a local couple. Alvarenga stood before them, naked, skeletal, shaggy-haired, swollen, clutching a knife, screaming in Spanish. Amy motioned for him to drop the knife. They gave him food. He inhaled pancake after pancake. They communicated through hand gestures and drawings. The local mayor's son helped translate. He had learned basic Spanish from watching Dora the Explorer. Skeptics questioned his story. How could anyone survive 14 months on an open boat? Alvarenga passed a polygraph test. Oceanographers at the University of Hawaii confirmed the drift was consistent with known Pacific currents. His employer confirmed the fishing trip and the missing crew. In 2015, journalist Jonathan Franklin published the book 438 Days, documenting Alvarenga's account in extraordinary detail. Cordova's family later filed a $1 million lawsuit alleging cannibalism. Alvarenga denied it. No evidence was ever produced. Alvarenga returned to El Salvador on February 10, 2014. He was reunited with his parents and his daughter Fatima, the girl he had left behind 12 years earlier. He traveled to Mexico to visit Cordova's family personally and tell them how their son died. He had promised Ezequiel he would. Today, José Salvador Alvarenga lives inland in El Salvador, far from the water. He does not fish. He does not swim. He prays daily. He sees a therapist. When asked about his time at sea, he said, "There are still nights when I can't sleep. The ocean keeps haunting me.